narrative as if like I'm scared. I think Devin's a tremendous fighter. Do I think Devin Haney can beat me? Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah.
For me, personally, I'm on a different level than everybody.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to boxing, because Devin, he's a boxer.
It's on him, you know what I mean? It's on him. He knows that he's gonna get this fade sooner or later, in a matter of time. Obviously, we can't go down, we can't go down to 135. So, he would have to come up and, he can get this work anytime he ready.
Greatness, man. I've seen greatness. Shakur practically beat him with one hand, man. That jab, man. Most important hand you have, man. And he looked good doing it, sharp. You know what I mean? Distance. He did everything, man.
Everyone thinks they know who wins Shakur versus Devin, but there's one detail nobody is talking about, and it could decide the entire fight. Shakur Stevenson is expected to fight Devin Haney at 140 pounds. Shakur has already agreed to rehydration rules and looks fully confident. He truly believes his boxing skills are better than anyone else in the division, and he feels no challenger can match his level inside the ring.
All of these guys, if y'all want me to come to 147, I'm coming in with rehydration clause. I don't even do that.
Yeah.
But why am I going up to these guys' weight classes if I'm not planning on going?
Devin Haney strongly believes the fight with Shakur Stevenson will happen. He has shown clear commitment and focus, making it obvious that this is a fight he genuinely wants. Haney is not backing down and wants to prove himself against the very best.
Shakur still at 135. You can't, say your name without saying Shakur to your female tank, right? It just is what it is. Is that fight going to ever happen? Would it ever happen against you and Shakur?
100%, yeah. I think so. I think it.
You think Shakur will grow into whatever weight you're in?
I mean, all of us is close to the same size. We're all growing together. We're all getting bigger. Well, and it's only so many guys, like y'all said. It's only so many guys that we could make big money and people want to see the fights. Which even though I know that they making new guys, it's guys like Kermel, Abdullah, all these guys want to come up too. So eventually they gonna be there too. But I think that a fight with Shakur is very much possible. We try to make it happen.
Shakur Stevenson says he is not scared of Devin Haney at all. However, he feels that Devin's team might try to create excuses or false stories, claiming Shakur is avoiding the fight, even though that is not true.
Devin Haney.
Okay.
Devin Haney's probably, to me, I don't think it's hit its point yet, but I think in the next year or two, it'll hit a point where it's like the world is gonna demand, you know what I'm saying? I can see the trajectory feels like it could meet like that.
I would love this fight. But look, you gotta watch what you say with and this is not even Devin's fault, because Devin is very respectful of my game and I'm respectful of his game. He's a good fighter. But his fans will clip and twist and turn things into something that is not. So I try to be real careful on what I say.
True. This is guy Jay on Twitter. He a big Haney fan. He be always clipping and changing stuff, Jay.
Yeah, they gonna make a narrative as if I'm scared of. I think Devin's a tremendous fighter. Do I think Devin Haney can beat me? Hell no.
Shakur believes he is operating on a completely different level. In his mind, no fighter today can truly defeat him, and he also feels confident that Devin Haney does not have the power to knock him out.
Like he's a fucking stone cold killer who's just gonna go in there and try to knock me the fuck out.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to outbox me. I'm the greatest boxer. How do you... So that's how I feel about the fight.
Yeah.
But it all gotta make sense from a business standpoint. I don't like getting up here and negotiating against myself.
For sure.
But for me, I'm willing
to
to
do you see it as it being that could, like we always said, the Four Kings, even though you wasn't a part of it, the whole plot was at the end of the road, there's gonna be two guys left standing, and that's the big fight. Do you see that as that's potentially what that could be?
I'm a bad motherfucker.
Devin Haney remains determined to prove his greatness. He wants to face elite opponents like Shakur Stevenson to show the world where he truly stands and to cement his place among the top fighters of this era.
Fights are not possible. Would you be more inclined just to move up to 140?
Yeah, you know, if I can't get those fights next or it doesn't make sense for it to be next, I'll probably go to 140, test it out, see how I feel at the weight at 140, and then when the time is right, then, you know, I'll defend my belt at 135. We'll just see, though. I got to go back and talk with the team and see what makes the most sense. That's really all.
Bill Haney has made it clear that they are not waiting around. According to him, any fighter who wants a big fight with Devin must move up to 140 pounds. They are focused on forward movement, not delays.
He didn't become undisputed yet. They didn't mention the franchise belt, which directly impacted Devin's career early on, right? And it seemed like, I was saying this on my live earlier, you tell me what you think about this, but it seems to me like there's a lot of people that have tried to block y'all ambition, right? Between you signed to the wrong company, you know, Loma not taking the Devin fight, Tio not taking the Devin fight, Rolly saying he just don't want to fight Devin. Do you see that? Like, how do you see that? You know, as far as like, people know you're ambitious, they know you want to be unified, they know you want to be undisputed, so they put all these obstacles up and they make it hard for you to achieve what you're trying to achieve.
Absolutely. I think it's been historic in the way that they've done.
Tim Bradley believes Shakur Stevenson has the potential to become even greater than Terrence Crawford in boxing history. Crawford is already a legend, a 5-division world champion, and a Mount Rushmore-level fighter. But Bradley feels Shakur has a rare skill set and timing on his side. He explains this is not about matching Crawford's titles, but about opportunities. Many big fights were delayed for Crawford due to boxing politics. If those barriers did not exist, Crawford's legacy might be even bigger.
We must keep our composure and our patience and understand that it's part of the process when you're that good. You know what I mean? We can't say it any other way. You know, they're running out of narratives. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's what the people want to see. We don't never say, okay, you know, well, this guy has done something wrong or he did bad business. So, you know, we'll never do it. Obviously, you know, when we go through negotiations and we spend time in there, whether it's put something together for Richard Hitchinson, for him to come back later and to say, you know, yeah, I want that fight. Well, when we were trying to make the fight, we couldn't. You didn't want to negotiate. You went somewhere else. When we were negotiating with Shakur Stevenson, instead of him negotiating with us, he said that he's going to go somewhere.
Shakur is now entering an era where elite fighters from 130 to 135 pounds are more available. This gives him real chances to face top-level opponents regularly. Fighters like Devin Haney, Lamont Roach, Oshaki Foster, Gary Russell Jr., Dalton Smith, Brian Garcia, and others are all possible matchups. Bradley believes Shakur has both the talent and opportunity to beat these fighters and build a historic legacy.
I feel like Shakur, just like Crawford was with me, Shakur has the ability to pass Terrence Crawford. Listen up. Now, not in the sense of becoming 3-time undisputed and, you know, going up, you know, that many weight classes. Not from that standpoint. You know, he already has 4 weight classes. Crawford is a 5-weight division champion. But in the sense of having the opportunities that Crawford didn't have. You know, Crawford would have been even bigger than what he is if the politics didn't play into the sport at the time. And now that, you know, you have guys like Turki Al-Sheikh that are able to bridge that gap between promoters and, you know, make these big fights.
There are obstacles in boxing, but when you watch Shakur and Devin compete, it's clear that neither man loses easily. Outside of cheating or major controversy, they are extremely hard to beat. The back and forth between Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson shows how elite fighters challenge each other mentally and verbally. At one point, fans talked about a 4 Kings 2.0 era featuring Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, and Gervonta Davis, similar to the legendary 4 Kings of the past.
Turki was around when Crawford was on his climb. You know, when Crawford couldn't get those big fights with like Thurman and Danny Garcia and Ugas and, You know, he got it later with Sean Porter, but it was later. But imagine if Crawford was able to have that run and, you know, Earl Spence, Danny Garcia, Ugas, Keith Thurman, you know, the list goes on. If he would have had all those guys on his ledger, imagine how big Crawford would be. He would be even bigger than what he is today. You know, bigger than what he is today. So with that being said, you know, with these fighters hovering around 135, these talented fighters hovering around 135, 130, you know, guys like, you know, O'Shaquie Foster, like I mentioned, going to go up to 135. He's big enough to go to 135.
In the original Four Kings era, Wilfred Benitez is often forgotten, even though he defeated Roberto Duran. Duran struggled against several of the greats, beating Sugar Ray Leonard only once and losing badly to Hearns and Hagler. Yet Benitez still remains overlooked. In a similar way, fighters like Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, and Teofimo Lopez have often received more attention than Shakur Stevenson. But that is changing, especially after Shakur dominated Teofimo Lopez. At the same time, Tank Davis's legal troubles and hesitation to fight are shifting today's boxing landscape.
Haney going to concede to that? I doubt it. So there's a major obstacle in the way. But nonetheless, as you watch these two fighters fight, you can clearly see, outside of cheating, they're more than likely not going to lose, right? With that said, Devin Haney immediately responds to Shakur. Shakur responds to Devin, right? Again, we had the initial Four Kings. It was Devin, Ryan, Teo, and Tank Davis, right? It was supposed to be the Four Kings 2.0 from the Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran.
Bernie the Boxer reacted to the potential Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney fight by highlighting both fighters' achievements. Shakur is now a 4-division world champion, a 2-time lineal champion, and a 2-time Ring Magazine champion. He also became a 2-time unified champion at 130 pounds, defeating elite opponents like Teofimo Lopez, who is known for rising to big moments.
We had that Four King era, but nobody mentions Wilfred Benitez. And the fact remains is Wilfred Benitez beat Roberto Duran as well. And Roberto Duran is 1-4 against those guys. He beat Sugar Ray Leonard the first time. Outside of that, Roberto Duran, he lost to he quit against Sugar Ray Leonard. He got knocked out brutally by Tommy Hearns. He got outboxed by Marvin Hagler and outclassed by Wilfred Benitez. Right? But he's overshadowing Wilfred Benitez. And I felt like these guys, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Tank, and Teo, overshadowed Shakur Stevenson. And now Shakur Stevenson has shined the light by dominating Teofimo Lopez.
Devin Haney is a 3-division world champion and was undisputed at one point in his career. Bernie believes that if Shakur truly wants to fight Devin, he should do it without hesitation. Beating Devin in his prime would remove all excuses and give Shakur full credit. According to Bernie, both fighters are elite, but defeating Devin Haney at his best would firmly establish Shakur Stevenson as one of the greatest fighters of his generation.
To the fight, Conor Ben comes into the ring, they talk, have some words, but Shakur Stevenson said, I want to put that same rehydration clause you put on Chris Eubank. Tell me, what did you get out of that moment in the ring?
Well, I heard on the press conference where I think it was his manager said that, that was a clown move, but I think Shakur invited that, I don't even know if I would have said all that about Conor being right then, but I think he really wants that fight. He really wants the money for the fight. He been saying that. And now he came through victorious. I think he really wants that money for that fight. He wants the money because now Shakur is a 4-weight world champion. Devin is a 3-weight world champion. Devin was undisputed, but now Shakur is a 2-time lineal champion. So he's a 2-time Ring Magazine winner. 2-time unified champion. If you want to add the ring, as far as with the WBO, he was unified at 130. So he's a 2-time unified champion, 2-time lineal champion. Beat a guy like Teofimo Lopez, who rises to the occasion. Had a close fight with George Kambosos. You can make a claim that he was fighting out of frustration or out of emotion, and that was it. He was in his prime too, Josh Taylor seemed to be drained at 140. Not taking away from Devin, but he was already moving up to 47, they were saying. Lomachenko was a little older and smaller.